We're asking ourselves, OPI, DPI, nothing, something else. You can get a replay of it. Here it is. All right. You got DPI, OPI, you got no foul, you got something else. Bill, just real quick, what you saw, you got anything?
Nope, absolutely not. I just got any contacts there incidental. Nobody's gaining advantage. Nobody's causing a separation. People touching each other does not constitute pass interference.
All right, so that's what you got. Mike, you got anything?
I actually like DPI on this, and the slow motion one kind of gave it away. I see extension by the defender with the hand on the side. There's no uncatchable. I wouldn't even think it's uncatchable anyway. I think he helped that receiver to the ground with that push off. I don't think that's merely an attempt to make a play on the ball.
All right, that's what, Mike, that's what you got. All right, perfect. Somebody commented on one of the YouTube videos, was funny. Everything looks like a foul in slow motion. Yeah, that's true. I think in slow motion, it does look like a foul. But I think in real time, it's kind of more bang, bang. I'm probably going to let this go. Now, here's the interesting thing on this play. And this is the reason why I'm showing it. Because now we're going to go to part 2 of this. And this is where things get a little bit interesting. So I want you to take note of we're going to start the play over where everything is. You know, we have to know previous spot, blah, blah, blah. Take note. All right, here we go. So now we got the same play. And here it is. There it is. We've already decided amongst the group what we're going to do here. Now I'm going to speed it up. Now here's the back judge. The back judge has reported offensive pass interference. That's what the back judge. Now, I don't care what the back judge. This is not about knocking the back judge. This is about how we work as a crew. I've sped it up because this takes a long time because I think the chain crew in this state championship game, whose officials thought it was DPI. And they started to move because they never saw a signal and they started to move. Now the coach says, wait a minute, I think you got this all wrong. And the crew says, all right, this is what we're going to do. So we're going to stop it right here because now they're getting ready to run the play over, replay the down and enforce the foul, which they have. So now let's take a look at this, and I want to show this to you. Look at where our chains are. 39, 29. All right, let's go back to the beginning of the play. Our chains are at the 24 and the 34. We had a breakdown here of our penalty enforcement. And the reason why I think it broke down was because we assumed. I think the crew assumed, the chain crew, like some of the other people on the crew, the chain crew assumed that this is DPI. So nobody saw that. Now, I'm not saying we're only looking at it from one angle. I don't want to bash this official. Maybe he saw something from a different angle that we didn't see, but nobody thought OPI. So everybody assumed we got a flag. This is DPI. Let's move the chains. Let's get in position. We know what we're doing. And all of a sudden, holy crap. Now we're going OPI. We already moved the chains. So what do we do? Well, first thing is in situations like this, we have to take our time. We have to slow our roll a little bit and make sure we're using the OTO if we have it and get on it right away. And so that way we don't assume, and now we have this type of error where we move the chains and now nobody knows where to go. But second is that we need to use all resources available to us when we screw up. At some point, if it's happened to us all, where we got to go, whoa, we have to go to the people that are available. This is a state final game. There's a stat person there. Guarantee it. Go to the stat person. Call maybe the timer's an official. Hey, what you have what was on the game, the scoreboard. Do anything you can to get this right. This is the time we swallow our pride and say, guess what? We screwed up, but in the end, we're going to fix this and do whatever we can and use whatever resources available to us to make sure we don't end up in a situation like this. So, Mike, I know we've all made mistakes, and it happens, and even at the highest level, like a state final game. but we have to use those resources available to us, right?
Yeah, I mean, this happened in a Division I game. It was in our clinic during the meeting, and it was brought up. Statistician. The sometimes even you can ask the coordinators on both sides. They usually agree. Honestly, you use whatever resources, and we discussed how the clip guy, or maybe the guy holding the down box, might be able to write it down on tape on the stick, or if they use a clipboard to track anything, you can write down the down and the yard line every play, and we certainly do that with our crew.
Well, and that's the clip. That's why it's got the numbers on it, why it's so important. And then especially a lot of you people in these type of games, we don't always have that at a regular high school game where we can have two clips. So we never, if we move, we always know where the last spot was. These are all good things that we can definitely do to help us. Now, Bill, you've talked about this before about empowering your chain crew. I don't know if the chain crew, they might have been empowered and they might have just lost it like everybody else. But this is not immune. I mean, high school in a game like this is not immune to it. As Mike mentioned, it's happened. We've seen it happen at the highest levels where this type of stuff can go on. And how do we prevent it from happening?
I'm guessing, but I would think that I'll bet, hey, especially since we've got experienced officials working the chains, et cetera, I'll bet there was a bit of complacency. And where the guys went out there and said, hey, we got a good crew there, or we don't have to worry about anything. And they probably didn't go through the procedures with this crew that they went through with the average dads that work the sideline at most games. So that possibly a complacency situation. They took for granted everything was going to be in good hands. And all of a sudden the ball's on the ground. It's another fumble.
Yeah. And then we end up having something like this. Now, it's unfortunate, but use every resource that's available to you and don't take anything for granted. As Bill was saying, don't be complacent in these type of plays.